The Flint Flicker. That's the play call, actually. It was pretty
Did you
cool.
come up with that
No,
nickname?
that was all Dalton and Coach Manning.
Okay.
So we drew that up beginning of season, and we've just been running it every week, just getting ready, just waiting to call it. And it just happened that Oregon gave us a look that we wanted, and so we called it, and kind of blacked out in the moment a little bit. I don't remember the whole play, but the second the ball left my hand, I've never been more afraid in my life. So I'm just happy Fern was there and he caught it and got the first down. So it was definitely one of the more exciting moments of my career.
I'm curious, what did you see out of Oregon that signaled, let's do this?
Well, it wasn't really my call. It was
Okay.
a coaching. Yeah, it's all in the coaches.
Yeah.
I just listen to it and do it when they call it. But it was more just when it was a team showing hold up looks and stuff, not rushing too heavy. They actually rushed on that one and we got away with it. But just they showed us what we wanted, and Fern got open and we got the first down.
When you heard that call, what were you thinking in that moment when you knew that you had to do
I
it?
immediately shut my mind off because I knew if I thought about it leading up to it, I would probably mess it up. And then when I got the snap, I was just waiting for Fern to get open because it took a little longer than in practice, obviously switching from practice to games and whatnot. And the second I saw him open, I just went for it, and thank God he caught it. But like I said earlier, the second it left my hands, I've never been more afraid in my life.
How do you turn the noise off? You say just stop thinking. How did you do that? All that
Just,
going on.
I mean, you just take a deep breath and just, I don't know. Usually I'll just like look down or something. It's hard to explain. It just kind of happens after playing for years. You just learn how to do it. So.
What's the success rate of that in practice? You said you do it
We
all the time in
completed
practice.
it every time.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a great play call, like the drop of it and everything. Throughout my years, I think that was the most like I knew that was going to work from the second we drew it up. So I liked it. I'm glad we called it this year. Yeah, it was fun. That's for sure.
We talked to you last week about not placing. You talked about not placing your punts inside the hash. I know you didn't mean to, but it was just barely there, but it was inside there. How much do you think that contributed to that return?
No, that one's fully on me. So that was a prime example of why we don't kick it in the middle of the field, because returners nowadays are just too good. So yeah, it was a cross kick drop, so it was actually supposed to go to the right of the field. And I just missed, and when you're doing a cross field left to right, you don't want to miss in the middle because then it goes straight down the middle.
Yeah.
And that's what happened, and that's on me. So, take notes from it and film today, and then tomorrow just completely forget about it, move on to next week, and just work on what I want to work on to make sure that doesn't happen again.
That was obviously kind of a rough game across the board on special teams for you guys. How do you come back this week and kind of refocus and kind of put it out of your memory, or do you specifically address each thing that happened and work on that?
Yeah, that's what Mondays are for. You watch the film, you take your notes from it, you address what went wrong and how to fix it. We come out here on the field, we do that, and then starting tomorrow, we just get back in our rhythm. Overall this year, we've been extremely focused and detail-oriented on special teams. You just can't be perfect, and sadly, a lot of it happened in the same game. But again, like Coach Kelly always says, the most prepared team will come out on top on the weekend, and that's what we're going for this week. So we're just gonna, put our heads down, just get back to work, focus on what we've been focusing on all year, clean it up, and then we'll be much better this weekend. That's for sure.
How many of the coaches that work with special teams have you seen? Deshaun Foster working with punt returners, Coach Rhodes with the Gunners, obviously Coach Manning. Am I missing anybody? Is there other guys who help out?
Yeah, so Coach Manning, he's the coordinator,
Right.
obviously, and then we have multiple coaches helping out. So Coach Deshaun, he's with returners. Coach Sage, I know he helps out a lot with the core guys on punt and punt return, just with blocking and release technique and stuff. Coach Fry, he does field goal.
Okay.
So it's a whole team effort, obviously, like every facet of football is. But Coach Manning is the head of it all, and I think he does a great job. I've been very impressed with him all year.
What impresses you about working with him in a special teams facet?
He's just his focus on it and what he emphasizes in his drills and whatnot, that I just feel like they translate over very well. Obviously, this past game isn't like the best example of it, but that's not all on him. You know, you can't just blame one person, especially coach. So we just have to go out and remember our training. You know, like I said, turn your mind off, let your body do what it knows what to do. I think we just kind of got away from that this weekend as players, and we'll clean that up this week, and next week will be much better. So.